Why is she brought here around?
You traumatizing them.
Not to be boxed into particular.
Is this a strong woman running right now?
Well, actually, I think that's probably the best thing for her.
Hi everybody, welcome back to the second half of this video. So someone sent us a clip of this video, which is a clip, so I was going to look at the whole video. I think that I feel like we've seen this before. But anyways, so it's kind of interesting because it kind of goes into what we're talking about. People just want there to be, the social justice warriors have to have something. You know what I mean? They just dying to have something. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and watch the whole. We're gonna go ahead and watch the whole video and let's tell us what you guys think. And
I am Jessie Peterson. Thank you so much for being with me. I absolutely appreciate it. I did a YouTube video, a commentary on Beyonce during the halftime of the Super Bowl. It was one of the most evil things I've seen happen in a public way. And I received a phone call from the Black Student Union at Trade Tech College here in Los Angeles, wanting to talk with me about my YouTube video. I have with me tonight Andre Shirley. Also, Michelle Watson is here, and we want to have an open and honest discussion about Beyonce and the whole race issue. Andre goes to school at Trade Tech, and Michelle is a community activist. Do you work with Black Lives Matter or the Black Student Union, or both?
Both.
Both?
Both, and also the Los Angeles Black Workers Center.
Oh, okay. What do you guys disagree with me about?
Let's go down the list. Well, let's start off with how you described Beyonce and her performance. When you said that white people should have gotten up and walked away.
Why? Why is that a problem?
Race relations is something that needs to be talked about. It needs to be addressed. It has held this country back and held my people back for far too long. And until we can, as a society, sit down and understand what's plaguing us, we will never be able to move forward, ever.
But she wasn't talking about it at the football game.
No, she was bringing attention to the fact that there is lack of value on Black lives here in America.
But most people, when they go to the Super Bowl, they're taking their families, their kids are with them.
Yes.
They want to go there and just have fun. They don't want to hear Black people complaining about so-called racism at a football game.
So-called
If Beyonce
racism.
wanted to talk about it, she should have called together a meeting and say, hey, I'd like to bring everybody together and let's have a discussion about so-called racism in America.
Racism is not private.
We asked for this conversation. How many times have we asked for a conversation about race relations? I have a dream that one day my children will be judged by the content of
Black people have been talking about racism for 50 years or so.
Did Harriet Tubman have to constantly go back before a conversation? We are at a point in society where us as young people, we're tired of seeing it. We're tired of hearing. I'm tired.
As young people, he's tired of seeing it. Jessie just said, seeing what? Seeing what? Most people who have a race issue have never encountered race. Most people have not even encountered real racism.
Please, white people like me.
Yeah.
I really need white people to like me and accept me. Because if the white people don't like me and accept me, how can I move forward? You know what I mean? It's just like, and also just, you know, effeminate Black man. I can't. You know what I mean? It's just, you know, come on. This is what's wrong. You know what I mean? You want to talk about like what's wrong with it's these begging, and he's young, so I'm trying to you know, but I'm just saying.
He thinks that
he needs to be a man, and I'm feeling like he doesn't have one around him too much. He has a bunch of activists telling him what to say and what to do, and just like real men do not need people to like them all the time. You want respect, but you don't need someone to like you to move forward in life. Jay-Z and Beyonce ain't think about you.
No, this is what happens though when fans think they know that their the artist they like actually cares about them.
Of walking down the street in my hoodie and being afraid because I just saw a police officer. Not being afraid because there's some people down on the corner that I don't know. Not being afraid because my next door neighbor is always in his garage. I don't know what he's doing. But being afraid because the people who are charged to protect and serve my life, people who are taking my tax dollars to have a job to protect and serve my life. So tell me about
Beyonce. Let me ask you about Beyonce. Beyonce is 34 years old.
Yes.
She's married.
Yes.
She has a daughter.
Yes.
And first of all, she out doing this booty dance, half naked, dressed in black, looking like a thug. Is that a good example for, and I'll ask you this, Michelle, is that a good example for other young girls? And should a married mother act that way in public?
Beyonce is a woman, and women have sexuality and femininity, right? And so that's where the style comes from. If it's okay with her husband, then it's no one should ever have anything to say.
Is she a good example for other young girls to see an older woman acting that way?
Yes.
That is a good example?
Yes, because that's not their status. They know you are from a baby, a child, a little girl, a teenager. They're not a woman, right? And they know that. But just because...
So this is the irony in that. We want people to respect us, but the people who are out there with a big microphone like Beyonce doesn't need to be respected. She's going to go out there and dance like a tramp and talk about racism while she does it.
She's relieved of responsibility.
And she's relieved of any kind of responsibility,
social responsibility.
To this young lady, to keep her clothes on.
Because
as long as her husband thinks it's okay, that's just fine. She's a woman, so she has sexuality.
Yeah.
What does that have to do with social justice? That has nothing to do with it.
She's just a fan.
She's just a fan. And Beyonce understands that her job is to make black women look like that.
Right. It's completely, and by the way, it's completely inappropriate. Just
let me put my Beyonce wig on and do a stand there in a militant outfit on the Super Bowl, because Jessie's right. Everything, we don't need to be black. Everything doesn't have to be activism all the time. People pay to go see these Super Bowl
to get away from the Super Bowl.
To get away from it for a minute, and then every single moment we have to just talk about it all the time. And then as soon as we start talking about, it's the white person's responsibility to like us and to and to affirm us and tell us we're all great, but it's not our responsibility to show any kind of moral decency on a stage, on the big stage, because the Super Bowl is a big stage. A lot of people watch that, but we don't have to have responsibility for ourselves and how we act. But everybody else is supposed to appease us and tell us we're great and give us all this stuff, and we're just supposed to not do anything. Responsible.
And then, by the way, it is inappropriate for a mother and a wife to behave like that.
Right.
In its full manifestation doesn't mean that it'll negatively affect them.
Would you want your mother out doing the hoochie mama dance, half naked, dressed in black, where the world is looking at her?
Everyone is entitled to a good time.
No, but would you want your mother to do that?
I would.
Hold on a minute. Would you want your mother to do that?
To have fun in a black dress on national television?
Half naked doing the hoochie mama dance.
Beyonce was not half naked.
Yes, you are. But you didn't answer the question. Would you want your mother doing that?
Depends on how old she is. Yeah, it does. So, in my opinion, hey.
So would you want your 34-year-old mother doing that?
Why not? Like I said, everyone is entitled to their expression of themselves.
Is that a yes or no?
Yes, it's a yes.
That's a yes?
It's a yes.
You would want your mother doing that?
It's a yes. My 34-year-old mother, yes. It's in the self-expression.
What is it that she's trying to express?
She's trying to express, for one, the powerfulness of the black woman and the black movement.
But that's not power to go out and hoochie mama dance half naked. That's no power in that. That's a weakness.
What is a hoochie mama dance?
Women are doing that in bars and clubs every day and night. Don't you think?
Showing one's physical beauty
dance
is a weakness.
Is a part of art.
But not half naked in the public. Let me ask this. Beyonce promoted Black Lives Matter. We all know that Black Lives Matter is an agitative, evil group of people who could care less about black people.
We do not
She
all
also,
know that.
let me finish, and then I'll let you respond.
Can
She
we not
also
establish that as a
promoted.
fact, though?
Hold on. I'll let you respond. She also promoted the Black Panther Party, and we know that Black Panthers promoted killing cops, and they killed at least 2 police officers that I'm aware of. And in Chicago, black people were afraid of the Black Panthers during those days because they were so radical. She also promoted Malcolm X at a Super Bowl game.
Yes.
And you guys are okay with that, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let me ask this then.
Promote my people.
Next year, I'm asking the KKK to go and perform a cross burning dressed in hoods, white sheets and hoods at the Super Bowl halftime. Are you okay with that too?
We live in America where you have freedom of...
Y'all, this is what I can't stand about. This is first. What I can't stand about these types of people. If the KKK came and performed at the Super Bowl, this is not the attitude these people are going to have.
The mental gymnastics you have to play to talk to these people.
Yeah, oh, I can't.
You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
they don't even know what to say. It's like they weren't even thinking about the fact that, and you know, the fact that Beyonce's a mother and a wife, and that's why she couldn't say, I want my mother to do that, because nobody wants to really see their mother do that. That's just not a thing. You know what I mean? And then the effeminate black man, I'd like to see my mother do that.
Okay. I'm surprised.
We really do need fathers.
Right.
So you would be okay with that,
to
right?
Do that. I would personally be a part of the crowd that's protesting it. As you said, white people should have gotten up and walked out on Beyonce and Kendrick Lamar's performances. I would be that black person that would bring that protest to your front door and ask you how
if
as
Beyonce
a black
can promote
person could you promote an organization that judged your ancestors on the color of their skin and not the content of their character, never even asked them a simple question, but because they were solely black, put them in chains and make them work on a field. And
the
these
KKK
are the people
didn't do that.
The KKK is a terrorist group, and it's the longest standing
And so
terrorist
is Black
group
Lives Matter.
in Los Angeles. Black Lives Matter is not a terrorist group.
So let me ask.
Black Lives Matter is simply an affirmation to black people that we matter, because we don't see it enough in our community. Nobody tells us, not even our parents sometimes, that we matter. So when we say Black Lives Matter, it's not saying that you don't matter. It's not saying that we matter more than somebody else. It's saying that we matter, and I can tell myself that I matter, just like I can tell myself that I'm beautiful, right? To affirm it to myself.
So is that a no?
So did you just hear what she said? She said, we don't even hear it from our parents that we matter. So it's just like, you need organizations to tell you that you matter because you don't have a family that's telling you that you matter. So
again, most people that have these types of protest out there with the picket signs and protesting and putting their fist up in the air, most people haven't even experienced real racism. It's a stop. No.
Is that a
And
no?
now we have to be a terrorist group, and we're here to rebuild the community, to hit the capitalist white supremacist society right in its face and stop it and say, hey, this is not right.
Okay, so
Talking points. She hit all the target words that they told her to hit. See, she's been indoctrinated to say these target words. The white supremacy, y'all already know, racism, white supremacy, slavery. That would get us all. That gets us all like she's getting right now.
And black people, it's so funny that it seems like when these talking points happen, they're always talking about, like, because, you know, it's true that the Black Panthers did, you know, a lot of social programs.
Right, the breakfast
program. You know, like, but the truth is that when you have an intact family, you don't need social programs.
Right, so let's talk about
You
that.
have a man in your house that's working, and a woman, or even a woman in the house that's working, but, you know, you have a married couple, there's income coming in the house.
You don't need that.
You know what I mean? You don't really need all of these social programs.
The nuclear family.
Of course, she feels like that, because now when you have a 74% single mother rate, it seems like, we do need all of these things, because women can't make it on their own.
Right.
Or can they? At one moment, we're strong black women that can do anything. On the next minute, we're weak black women that need WIC.
Yeah.
And free milk programs and all of these things. You know what I mean? It's just like, these kids are just, they're on the socialism kick. Here she said she said we're trying to get rid of capitalism.
Yeah.
Capitalism really isn't the problem.
The nuclear family is the problem.
Yeah. And they also don't understand that Black Lives Matter is subsidized.
Yeah.
And, you know, by white people.
Yeah. True.
So it's not black run. You know? Sorry.
Yeah.
Neither is the NAACP.
Not black run. Black black.
Notice that
yeah.
all of these black
Yeah.
programs are all led by white liberals.
Who give black people management jobs.
Let me go back to the question. Is that a no for the KKK performing next year?
Only if you're on the cross.
I'm sorry?
Only if you're on the cross.
I'm on the cross?
Yeah.
And then you'll be okay with it?
Yeah.
Why are you so mean?
I'm not mean.
Why would you want to put me on the cross because we disagree?
Because
Where's the love in that?
Yeah.
Where's the
your
love
in
in
Beyonce
you?
for at
Where's
least
the love in that? Let me
bringing
ask you
light to
this.
this conversation?
I wanna
Where's
go-
your love for Trayvon Martin, who didn't even do anything?
Where's your
but
love for
according
Ezel
to you,
Ford?
he was a
Let me ask you
criminal.
this.
Omar Obrego.
Hold on. You said that Black Lives Matters make black people feel worthy and beautiful?
No, I didn't say we make people feel. I said it is a positive affirmation to ourselves.
They affirm you?
Yes.
And what do they affirm about you?
It affirms my being and the positivity in my being and the purpose in my being.
That
You
she's a
didn't feel
strong
that
black
way
woman.
prior
Wow.
to Black Lives Matter? You did not feel that way?
No,
Why not?
because the way that society is set up, it makes me feel that as a woman, there are things that I shouldn't have. There's a specific way that I should act. And that because I'm black, my chances of everything is significantly lowered.
So your parents did not make you feel worthy while raising you?
They told me I was beautiful.
And they didn't
told me I
affirm
was
you?
smart.
And you
They
didn't
told me
believe
I
them?
was important. But
Did
yes,
you
I
believe them?
believe them.
So
But
why do you need Black Lives Matter
because
to
the way that you are
affirm that?
treated and what you are told are two different things. My mom told me I was beautiful now and I was smart. But when I go into society, they don't see that beauty. They don't see that
Who don't
intellect.
see it?
Society. Just because I'm
Who
black.
are you referring to in society?
I'm referring to the structure.
Are you
the
talking
way
about
the whole
white
system
people?
is.
She's talking about white people. And this is a problem.
And
That
really-
white people, black people are always wanting the affirmation and confirmation from white people. And that's what she's talking about. She's not talking about nothing else but white people. This is 100% that.
And see, I don't even think that she has a problem with white people on a regular day.
I don't either, yeah.
That's why she didn't know how to answer that. She
Yeah.
said it's the white,
It's the system.
the structure.
It's the structure.
So you don't have problems with white people.
You just
You
know
just
you should
feel,
have. Yeah.
you feel like these groups have made you feel like you are inferior.
Yeah.
So now you're walking around assuming
Yeah.
that white people just think you're ugly
Yeah.
and think you're not good enough. And so therefore you're listening to a power structure that's telling you, because Black Lives Matter is power structure. You're listening to a power structure that is keeping you down, but sounds like it's uplifting you.
Well, they look like I know I should have a problem, but I don't know what it is.
Black people and white people and others. Who
I
are
don't
you
think
talking
we're
about? Are you
spe-
talking about white people?
I'm not talking about a person.
Specifying any particular.
I'm
not talking about a person.
I'm-
But somebody has to be the system that you're referring
It's a
to.
thinking. See, we have to
Who are you
understand that
referring
it's not
to?
a people.
But who are
it's
you
a
re-
thinking.
And who is
that's
thinking?
I'm referring to the
predominantly in a
government.
group
Who
of
is thinking this
people.
way?
The people who wrote our laws.
Who is that? Are you talking about white people, black people, Mexican, or them all?
White people.
You talking about white people?
Mr. Peterson, if I
Hold
may.
on a minute. Hold on. I'll come to you. You're talking about white people?
I gave you what you're looking for, huh?
No, are you talking about white people?
Yeah, I'm talking about anyone who wants or feeds into white supremacy in this structure.
So you're talking
anybody,
about
whether they
whites
be
and
white,
blacks
black,
and
Asian,
others.
Latino, whoever.
Oh,
If you
okay.
agree with this white capitalist, white supremacist structure, then okay, that's for you. But if you don't agree, because there's a variety of all the races who don't agree,
So it's
as
not-
do agree.
Oh, okay. So Andre, you want to say something? Go ahead.
Yes. I wanted to say that I don't think it's a people. It seems to be a majority of people that have this racist thinking that I must keep this race oppressed so that I can stay superior. Although, I mean, our history do show.
Who are you referring to now?
I'm telling you that it's a thinking that's in
And
society.
who's doing this thinking in society?
It's been the Caucasian race for
So the white
ages.
race is holding you back.
No one's holding me back
The
because I
white
create
race
my
are
own
discriminating against you.
because of my
Yes.
race. Yes, it's sad.
And they have
Hold
set
on.
up
Where's
a
your proof
system
of
to where
that?
they don't have to discriminate, but us, they have a system that does it.
Where's my proof?
Yeah.
The fact that as a young black man growing up in this society, my parents had to tell me that I had to do things 4 times better than the Caucasian person just to survive in this country.
So your
But me
parents told you that?
Hold on. But me being a person that's objective and I can see both sides of the coin, I go into society, I do the same thing as my fellow classmates. Yet I realize that I do have to do more to get into society. The fact that before I go on the job interview, I have to figure out what I'm gonna do with my hair because my texture of hair is not what America deems job appropriate. So I have to go and cut my hair, although I believe that this is where my strength is, because I am the only person on this earth that has this kind of hair, that can have any hairstyle without doing anything.
You believe
to
your
it.
hair is your strength?
All of this is my strength. I have strength in here that I can't even contain.
Black
and I
life.
think that is a reason why we have this issue with everything black people do. Is called a protest, an outrage. Is because we are passionate people.
No, you're very angry people.
Oh,
Would you
are
include
angry?
yourself in that?
No, I'm not angry.
I actually wanted to ask you, what is your
Hold
nationality?
on, I was angry like you people at one point.
I'm not angry.
But
Can
I
you
was
not say
able
that
to
I'm
overcome it, and I realized that I had been lied to. You guys, most black people are so angry. You're at a point now that no race like you.
Okay, but
Not just the white race, isn't that right? It's not just the white race. The
200
Hispanic,
years of racism.
the Hispanics don't like you.
60
The blacks
years
don't
of
like
Jim Crow.
you
I
know.
mean, constantly being told that we're less than,
No,
yet
but-
you go and get Botox and tanning
Andre.
salons and
Okay.
all this to look like
Andre.
us. You
And
perm
to
your hair,
address
you
the-
crochet your hair to get
Andre,
locks,
Andre,
but we're
Andre.
ugly.
Andre,
I'm just
calm
saying,
down.
we would have a reason to be
So
angry.
let me ask, how do you feel knowing that most races do not like black people now because they're fed up with your bullying, they're fed up with your complaining and blaming and doing all that. You're turning off most people. How do you feel about that, Andre?
I would have to disagree with you on that statement, seeing that the
No, I hear from them all the
Okay.
time.
Okay, hold on. Let me get my point across. You hear from them, but I see them, and I think actions are a lot better than words. When I see black and brown doing a march on Washington, that's race relations
Well, those
right there.
just
That's
those
great.
radical, angry- angry,
Great. When I see Asian people standing outside the White House marching with Black Lives Matter, yes, yes.
Wait. Jessie just laughed at it. He's like, okay. This guy needs a life. Let me tell you, and I know nothing about this guy, but there are men that have jobs and things to do not have time to be doing all of this.
Thomas Sowell, he said, these people who protest day and night, I don't understand. You don't have a job.
Where's it?
He was like, for days and months at a time. He's just like, I mean, when do you find the time to go to work? How can you
Right.
afford this? And if you can't afford this, then you don't have a problem.
Right.
This is what we have to do as a people. We have to wake up.
What do you
We
want?
got to stop listening
What is
to
it
this
that you
rhetoric
want?
that's in the media.
Michelle, what do you people want?
What do I want?
Michelle,
When you say you people, what do you mean?
the complaining black people blaming others for the failure of their parents and their lives,
What complaint
blaming
have we made?
others for whatever it is you complain about. What is it exactly do you want from white people?
Well? What was the question again?
Okay, rule number one. Don't this up.
First of all, I'm just going to take a breath. And
I'm trying to find out
I
what
want-
you want.
what's your nationality?
American.
Are you white?
I'm black American.
Oh, okay.
What do you want?
Like, stop it.
She tried to switch the...
Okay, so she doesn't
Know
know
the
what she
answer.
wants, and this is what happens when people don't have an answer.
Yep.
They resort
Yep.
to insults.
Insults.
And when you resort to insults, then you've lost the whole movement.
Happens to us all the
Because
time.
It happens right.
Happens to us
People
all the
who
time.
just get angry. They have really no real answer.
I
to
come
give
with facts, you
and
come
then
with
you're
insults.
calling Uncle Tom, and that's what she's trying to do. She doesn't have an answer. Her only answer is to complain. But then no one ever really prepped her on saying what happens when someone asks you exactly what you're looking for.
What's the mission?
You know why she doesn't know
Yeah.
what she wants is because she's a privileged girl.
Yeah.
She lives in a country where she can go to college. She lives in a country where
Where
she
she
can
can
live.
succeed.
She can be successful as a man. She lives in a country where she can choose to be married or not be married. She lives in a country where she can live and she can make as much money as she wants. She lives in a country where she can live on welfare. You know what I mean? So she really doesn't have a problem. The problems are inside of her. The problem is that she didn't know what to answer and how to answer. Neither did he really.
Yeah.
Because he didn't chime in either. They just sat there silently.
I don't
And so her
know.
only thing to say was, well, now let me call him Uncle Tom, because the
Yeah.
only thing that I can come up with
He
is
asked
to insult
her.
him.
He asked her one simple question: "What is it that you want?"
Jesse says stuff sometimes to trigger emotional
does.
people.
Yeah.
And I think he does it like the word "you people." He does it
Yeah,
on
he does
purpose. He does
yeah.
it a lot to people who are these kind of blacktivists
Yeah.
people, because he knows what triggers them. He gets them in their feelings. He almost likes it that they get angry at him and call him all kinds of sellout names, because he can take it. He doesn't really care. He wants to understand the root. He wants not that he doesn't understand. He wants them to understand what they're actually angry with.
Yep.
And so what he does is he says things like "you people," and then they get triggered. They always fall for it. They get triggered, and they don't know how to. What do you mean, you people? He's like, I'm meaning you people.
Yeah.
You angry black people who are very privileged, the most privileged people in this world.
What do you
live
want?
in America?
And why do you think that? Why do you think that?
Because you seem to separate yourself from us, should I say?
In
Put
what
us on
way?
the other
In
side
what
of the
way?
fence. In the ways that you specified thus far.
Meaning what? Tell me. Give me an example and tell me what you mean.
How you mean? How do what do
the
you
black
people want from
here
white
as
people?
you
Meaning
people,
that I'm not
including
with
yourself.
Oh, okay. I
It's
got
just
you.
y'all by yourself,
Let
right?
me explain why I do that. What you don't know is that there are two realities in life. One is that of good and one is that of evil. And now that I've been able to overcome evil, I don't identify with angry, evil black people. I identify with other blacks and others who are on the side of good. And so that's why I say you people, because I have to divide myself or separate myself from evil and go along with good. So that's why I do that.
What is it that makes us evil?
I'm sorry, your anger, you're blaming others for your problems, your lack of love and respect for yourself and others.
Okay, well, that's another reason why I wanted to come on the show, because that has been a misrepresentation, right? We're not angry, we're not pointing the finger.
But you're blaming white people for your downfall.
No, we're not blaming white people for our downfall. Basically, we're just saying when the so-called Emancipation Proclamation was passed, a certain system was also set in place to make sure black people didn't make it that far.
What do you want at this point?
I want race to be taken off applications. Why? What does that have to do with anything? I want to stop seeing my fellow young people being gunned down in the streets for carrying a can of tea and a bottle of Skittles, walking home. I want police to stop using illegal chokeholds to take people down and then completely getting off of it. I want our politicians and our elected officials to see the people that march in these streets across this nation that's saying, wait, no, this is wrong. I want people to do their jobs. I want to walk down the street and know that I'm safe.
You've been brainwashed.
No,
check this out. It's not that we want something
brainwashed,
from white people, right?
What do you want?
We want to see, first of all, this fact is, yes, in LA, right? Yes, in Chicago, that if you're black, you basically will be persecuted.
Who are you referring to?
I'm referring to anyone, everyone who looks down upon black people, right? Who feels that if you have darker skin, that you have a lower status.
Have you been discriminated against?
Yes.
By whom?
By white people.
What did they do to you? Tell me what happened to you.
They told me that I needed to wear my hair a certain way in order to be groomed.
Who told you that?
All right, a supervisor.
At your job?
Yeah, at a previous job.
At a what?
A previous job. I don't work there anymore.
So you were working at this company, and you went in, you applied for the job, and you, at the time that you were applying for the job, you told them, if you pay me X amount of dollars, I would come every day, and I will follow your rules, and you took the job, right? Is that right?
Yes.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
They can't hear you.
Yes.
They can't hear you, Michelle. Come on. So when you agreed to do that job and follow their standards, their rules, you didn't mean it?
You just trapped her.
Yes, I did, but culture is,
You didn't mean
everybody
it?
has different culture.
So you meant to follow their rules. Did you know about the hair deal before taking the job?
No, they said Right.
They said what?
Groomed means you got up and you did your hair, you did your face, you're aware of your whole appearance, right?
Right. And so you went in there with what, an afro or something?
Something similar.
What you did? What you go in there with?
With a ponytail with the afro and a little bang in the front.
And they
pretty
said
nice.
no, you can't wear that hairstyle.
They said it's just not it doesn't look professional, and they just made a recommendation, but they didn't say, oh, our rules prohibit you, but they said, oh, look, I just want to make a nice recommendation.
Right. And did they have a right to make that recommendation?
No, they didn't have a right.
Did they own the company?
No, they did not own the company.
Who owned the company?
The owner nobody owned the company.
Somebody have to own the company.
Nobody, it wasn't a company.
See, this is what I'm talking about. She just literally said no one owned the company.
People can't communicate. These are the wrong folks up here.
Oh, wow.
I'm not getting the real answers or anything.
I think you've
Where'd you
gotten
get
some
these
very
people
clear.
from?
Excuse me, sir.
You
Can
guys
you
are not
offend
even
my-
communicating. I thought this
Excuse
was
me,
going to
can
be
you not
like
offend my intelligence while I'm sitting right in front of you? You asked me for clear answers. I gave you clear answers.
I thought this
you
was gonna-
choose to have
But
a
you guys are
discussion
not
with
even
the sister
discussing.
because
I'm trying to get some understanding to what is wrong and what we can do about the problem. But you guys won't really
Okay, I can tell you,
communicate
you're
and
focused-
telling me.
You're focusing on problem, but you're not
I'm trying
focusing
to-
on the solution,
I'm trying-
right?
and we'll get to
And
that.
you want to know what the solution would be?
No, we need to find out what is the problem. Have you been discriminated against? Who discriminated against you, and why?
I've been discriminated
Well,
against. I've been
it
told
was the
that I had to
policy
get a
that
haircut.
allowed the recommendation to even come in. So it's policies that are created that people have to go by that perpetrate discrimination.
Was this with a private business that you were working for? at
No,
the
it was
time?
not
Was it a
private
government business?
Yes, it was.
And so the government rules are you can wear your hair any kind of way you want to?
As long as it's decent.
And so did your supervisor approach you about your hair once you got this job?
Be more specific in your
You said
question.
you got this job, and did you quit the job or you got fired?
I quit.
You quit, and you quit because of they recommend a different hairstyle.
No, that's not the reason why I quit.
Why did you quit?
Because I felt that I wanted more fulfilling work.
So where's the racism in that then? You quit because you were not fulfilled. You said that was an example of you being discriminated against.
Right, but
Now you're
that's just
saying-
something that
now
black
you're
people on a
saying you
daily
wanted to
basis
be
we have to
fulfilled.
work through.
So was
I had
it-
to work through that, right?
So
I
was
had to
it-
conform to that.
So was
but
it racism
ultimately,
or you wanted to be fulfilled?
Mr. Peterson.
Wait a
it
minute,
was
I'll
an
come to that
instance
after
on
this.
the job. It wasn't the final conclusion on the job.
So you quit because you wanted to be fulfilled, not because of discrimination about your hair.
Right.
But you just said
Yeah.
that was you.
A problem.
But it had nothing to do with racism. You was not fulfilled. Why did you try to make that into racism?
But it's discrimination that we face, that all black people face on a daily basis,
But
that
you-
we have to work through because it's like, okay, hey, am I going to tell them,
But
fuck
you
you, I'm
make-
going to wear my hair the way I want to, or am I going to work this out to the
Michelle,
next week
you're
and make sure
making
that I
this
can
up
get a
because
check?
you have not given me an example of you being discriminated against. I asked
I
for an
think
not
example.
valid enough
you're
for
being
you.
Both
boxer
of you are
into a
running
corner.
around crying racism.
I'm not
and
crying
yet you
racism.
haven't given me an
Can you
example.
stop doing
Hold
that?
on.
I didn't
hold
say
on.
racism,
I'm
I
just
said
asking you to stop
discrimination.
You
such
haven't given me an
broad
example you've been
statements.
discriminated against.
Okay.
Have you been discriminated against?
Yes, I have been discriminated
And who
against.
discriminated against
An
you?
employer discriminated against me. They asked me to cut my hair.
Was it a white man or a white
This was
person?
a
or people?
Caucasian female.
Okay, and so private job?
No,
Private-
this is a public sector job.
Okay, so you fill out the application
I filled out the application.
and you said on the app that I will follow the rules if
that
you
I
pay
would
me
follow
X
the
amount of
rules.
dollars.
Yes.
And did you have the afro at the time?
Yes, I had my afro at the time.
And they still hired you.
And they hired me.
And so you went in and they said what to you? This
That-
is a white female boss, right?
Yes, after
And this is a
after
government
doing a
job.
great job.
And so you go into the office, she call you in,
Yes.
and she says what to you about your hair?
She told me that I had to cut my hair, that my hair had gotten too long and looked unmanaged.
Oh, okay. And what's wrong with that?
A lot is wrong with that.
Why? Why don't you want to look? I wouldn't hire you with that hair looking like that.
Why?
It's not. It doesn't
That's
look.
my natural hair texture.
It doesn't look
Get
professional.
off the stage. Let's
Yeah, I'm not feeling this.
It doesn't look professional.
No, they're gonna leave now. We're leaving.
I'm,
Hold on.
Yeah,
No.
you ready?
You're done, Michelle. Now you can stay, baby, and I really don't know you.
Why is she bossing you
You
around?
traumatizing them. Goodbye. Yeah, spectacle. Google me. My name's Jasmine Abdullah. I just sat here.
Are you her boss or something?
No, it's about black love.
Why are you
It's
pushing
about
her
love.
around?
And you see how they're doing this because you're hurting them.
Why are you
You're
pushing them
hurting
around?
them, and you know they don't know what to say. You're
You're
right now.
you're boxing everything in. This is not an open discussion
And
at
that's just
all.
hurtful. I love you. I'm not angry with you. I love you, and I feel sorry for you. I feel really bad for you. I love you. You got a lot of self-hate.
Stop pushing her around.
And it radiates
Brother, you got a
and
lot
comes
of
out on
self-hate.
others.
Don't let that lady push you around.
No lady
It's
is
not
pushing
a-
me around
no.
because I feel more
It's
attacked
about
coming
love.
from you, right?
Yeah.
He stayed there.
I feel attacked
He stayed
by
there because
you,
he's a man.
but
No, you can't punk me.
I fight.
You do.
I stand in
No,
my
no,
Okay,
position.
all right.
I don't know where they came from.
We agreed to have an open conversation, not to be boxed into particular.
Is this a strong woman running right now?
Well, actually, I think that's probably the best thing for her.
I know I should have, but
We're trying to do a TV show. Mark, don't engage. Continue the show.
Is that a strong woman leaving?
Honestly, I think that was the best decision for her to make.
stop letting your ass.
I think it was the best decision for her to make because she is younger than I.
I'm sorry.
She is younger than I.
Anyway, I appreciate you coming, Andre Shirley.
Hopefully this inspired some black youth to actually get up and let their voices be heard. Apparently society will not understand if we don't just
All right,
come and
thank
tell
you, buddy.
them. Thank you.
Give me a handshake there. Thank you.
No
appreciate
problem,
you coming. All right, thank you.
It's funny because the lady asked to leave when she realized that the girl
Yeah,
didn't have any answers.
she was failing.
And it wasn't that he was traumatizing her. What it was that he was pushing her. Because it's kind of like the way that girl was talking to Jessie was like that was her dad.
Yeah.
Like she was talking to her elder
Yeah.
right now without activism.
Yeah.
And the way you're talking is I'm asking you a question. And she had to answer the question to this grown man. And she really didn't have an answer. And so I think that the activist, the lady, the head of them, I think that she realized that this is going on Jessie Ely has a nice platform, nice platform, and that it makes the BLM and it makes them all look bad if she can't answer the questions properly.
He's winning the debate. It's not even really a debate because she just has been told to talk this way and she's watched people be this way. And so Jessie in general is very calm. He sticks to the question. So if you notice with a lot of his interviews, sometimes he'll ask the same question at least 15 to 20 times until he gets like the yes or no answer, and she's unable to do that. She's not strong enough to do that. And so activist lady, what was that, a mother or something? I think she's like an activist lady working with her. But she pulls her out now because, like you said, she's realizing that he has a large audience and she just got trapped.
And they saw the girl, she's like, I want to go.
Yeah.
And it's just because she's afraid.
She's afraid.
She's afraid because she's not prepared.
Yeah.
And
she's lost.
She's talking to a man who is successful because he does own some businesses, Jessie. And she doesn't really have an answer. She looks like a little girl sitting there, a little lost, and look, he didn't really care too much about that black guy. And the reason why is because I think Jessie felt like that girl could be changed.
Yeah.
That black guy's, he's a little bit arrogant.
Yeah. And
he's over here trying to sign Martin Luther King and Malcolm X.
But she was kind of
the way he was running on, rattling on. You know what I mean? So he's kind of arrogant. Life will mold him. You know what I mean? But with her, she looked like she didn't really understand what she was talking about.
She had talking points, and she knew she had to get on some, and things that she's heard, she regurgitated back to. And just stuff that she's been hearing. And I feel like when you're calm and you're just want to know the answers and hear someone else's point of view and get your point of view across, it kind of works out okay as long as the person's not getting loud. So it looks like to me like she's used to someone being combative with her, and that's easier to tackle. But to sit here and be across from a man that's literally just asking you basic questions.
And she's doing what she's told. The lady told her to get up. She got up. She came up. That's why I said don't bully. Don't let her bully you.
Don't let her be your mouthpiece. Don't do that.
Let her bully you. You know,
this is what they're being groomed to be. The complainers, the forever complainers. So nothing's ever going to. There's always going to be something with these types of people.
And also, you can't fix it. The thing is, it's like, because anytime you ask these people what they exactly want, they never can really tell you what it is they actually want or need because they have it.
They have it.
You know what I mean? They have it. So they
Yeah.
don't know. So what they end up doing is keep trying to get talking points. But whenever they're faced, because Jesse's done videos like this with people that are like comedians. He's had different types of people on his show that he has these types of conversations with. And every single time he hits them with the, what is it you want?
They're like, oh.
They really, no matter how old they are, they could be all different ages. Like they could be white, and they never really know exactly what they want because that's not the point. The point isn't to ever get anything. The point is to be a perpetual complainer, so that nobody ever challenges you.
Right.
You can just say it's because I'm black, and then every white person is supposed to just back down. And then what ends up happening is there are white people who are just not. There are just white people that are just not intimidated. What happens is you get challenged by white people who aren't intimidated by black feelings.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I'm gonna have to agree with that. We can't just always be in our feelings and expect everybody just to roll over and play dead, even when we're wrong. You have to be able. Matt Walsh does it. You know what I mean? I don't have a problem with white people who do that because sometimes because a lot of times I disagree with black people. A lot of what black people say, they just say things are just crazy.
I feel like if you want things to change, you have to call out the truth. You have to be very truthful, and you have to be part of the conversation. You can't like separate yourself from the world and then say you want to see change. Let us know what you guys think. Leave some comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. Jessie Lee is always making me laugh. I know some of you guys don't like him, but I do. I think he's funny. But let us know what you think. Leave some comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, and we will see you guys next week. Bye.